Hello everyone and welcome to a 20-minute yoga and Pilates fusion workout series that I'll be leading you through today. For this workout, you won't need any equipment, just a mat and a little bit of space for yourself. I hope this workout leaves you feeling lengthened and rejuvenated. So without further ado, let's get started. Stepping onto our mat with our feet hip distance apart, grounding the toes into the floor. Reach the arms up overhead, clasp the fingers and press them away as you gaze up towards the sky. Swan diving forward. Let the head hang here. We're going to start to bend the knees, deeply bending, sitting the hips all the way down to the heels. And we'll repeat this 2 more times, just letting the spine fold forward with ease. And on our next bend, we'll bend halfway and we'll roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Once again, reaching our arms up overhead, clasping our fingers and pressing our hands away. Once again, swan diving forward, this time taking our weight into our hands and pouring our weight down into our knees, keeping our toes tucked underneath. Reach back and clasp your hands behind your head and start to rotate the spine, right and left. Let's do a few more rotations here, waking up the spine. Untuck the toes. We're going to start to fold forward and find a nice rounded back, aiming to touch our elbows together in front of us. And then arching back, opening up through the chest. And once again, rounding forward and arching back. Beautiful. Clasp the hands together, reach them out in front of you, and feel a gorgeous stretch between the shoulder blades. Let's roll out the wrists, removing any tension from that area. Go ahead and shake them out. All right. We're going to find a tabletop position with our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, and start to find some cat and cow rounding through the spine, continuing to wake up that spine even more. Let the rib cage fall down to the floor as you arch and look up to the sky. Reaching the tailbone for the back of the head. Good. Try to make each repetition a little bit more deep than the last one. Start to turn your gaze over to the right and look back at your right hip, and do the same thing with the left. Waking up that neck and upper spine rotation as we look back to the right and look back to the left. Good. Let's sit back and take a child's pose stretch here. Really allow the hips to crease deeply and just relax. Opening up through the hips, we're going to send our body forward into an upward dog. Hips can be on or off the floor here. Looking up to the sky, arching the back. And once again, folding back down to your child's pose. Round through the spine as you reach forward and take that upward dog, shoulders pressing down away from the ears, and look up. Bend the elbows and find your chest down onto the floor. We're going to place our fingertips beside our shoulders, making a little tent shape, and we're going to start to roll up through the upper spine. Again, turning our gaze to look to the right and left. Using our fingertips to press the floor away, look to the right and look to the left, staying nice and stable through the shoulders. Beautiful work. Let's place the hands flat and just enjoy one more stretch here. Inhale. Exhale. Lots of breath as you move through these postures. Press back and find your child's pose once again. We're going to re-find our tabletop position and reach our left leg back so that our tops of our toes are touching the floor and the right fingertips reach forward. We're going to start to lift and lower the arm and leg at the same time, working on our core balance here. Feeling that cross-body connection from left shoulder to right hip. Imagine that diagonal line of energy coming through the body. Lift and lower, lift and lower. And then finally finding a balanced position here. Let's reach back and try to grab the toes to take a quad stretch in this position. Challenging your balance. Take your time here and breathe through it. Good work. Good. Release back to that Superman position, right fingers forward and left toes back. Sit back, take a moment in your child's pose before we get ready to do the other side. Right toes back, left fingertips forward, reaching up and finding that nice long energetic line between toes and fingers. Tapping down and up and down and up. We're here for about 10 repetitions. A long line through the back of the neck. Try not to compress underneath the chin and into the chest. And the whole time drawing your belly button up and into your spine. Working against gravity with those abs. Good work. Reach back. Take that quad stretch, gently pulling the foot in towards your bum, and then kicking that foot up towards the ceiling. Beautiful job so far. Reach forward, find that balanced position one more time, and replace the hand and foot back onto the floor. We're going to tuck the toes and find this bear crawl position, taking a balance here. Good. Press up and find your downward dog position. Lift the heels high, tap the knees back down to the floor, and let's do a few repetitions here. Heels high, knees tap, send the hips high back to your downward dog. Heels high, tap the knees. Good. Working on our upper body and core strength here. Great job. Keep working to find a long line through the spine in your downward dog position. Good. Let's pause in downward dog, settle the heels back down to the floor. Take a gentle tail wag side to side and really just stretch out in your downward dog. Send the gaze forward looking at the fingertips. We're going to reach the right hand back to tap the left knee. And same thing with the left. Reaching back with the right, tap the left. Reaching back with the left to tap the right. Working on our tripod stability here. Good work. Rolling through the spine. Find that high plank. Looking forward between the fingertips. Pausing in our high plank for a moment here. Stability through the shoulders, lifting through the lower abs. Good job. Settle the knees back down to the floor. And let's take the hands a little bit further out in front of our shoulders. We're going to start to tap the right elbow down to the floor and left elbow down to the floor, working on our lat strength and tricep strength here. Tapping right and tapping left. Do a few more reps here. And left. Good job. And just a few more reps here. Keep it going. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Starting to take both elbows down to the floor. Here we go. Again, making sure the hands are in front of the head here and that you've got lots of weight in the arms. It's a modified tricep push-up. Tapping both elbows down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Sitting the hips back, find that child's pose once again. Let's come up to a kneeling position, reach the arms up overhead, sending both index fingers up towards the sky, and then reaching those fingers to tap the upper back as you lean back into your forearms and send your elbows nice and high, stretching out that front body. Good work. Release the arms, and we'll get set up for our next exercise. Tucking the toes, let's find a kneeling position and reach the right hand back and take a gorgeous front body stretch as we press our hips up and reach our free arm back behind us, arching back. Left hand reaches back, right arm reaches into the air, rounding out the front side of your body. Good work. Sending both hands up and back, make a nice wide Y shape with your hands and spread the fingertips wide. We're going to cross the right elbow under the left to make that eagle fold position to take a nice shoulder blade and rotator cuff stretch. Try that on both sides. Good work. Tuck the toes under and find that standing forward fold again. Pause here for a moment and then bring your upper body up to sit down into your squat, pressing the hands together. We're going to pulse in our squat here for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Folding the body forward. Good work. Sitting back down into the squat, we'll do a second set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Folding forward, releasing the head, giving the legs a break. Coming back up for our third and final set. Making sure we're sitting the hips low and pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Feeling that burn in the legs. Let's start to walk the hands forward and find our downward dog position. And then shifting our hips forward, finding a high plank. Chaturanga, bend the elbows into the rib cage, lower yourself down, lift the gaze up and coming into an upward dog as you roll the shoulders down and back. Good, reach the hips high, find your downward dog once again. Let's repeat, rolling out through the spine, finding your high plank, bending at the elbows as you bring them in towards your rib cage, lifting the chest up to the ceiling and finding that upward dog. Shifting back, folding at the hips, finding that downward dog position. Good work. We're going to release the right foot from the floor, reach it up into the sky in a standing split position. We're then going to tap the toes back down to the floor, tapping the full leg down and up, down and up. We'll take about 5 on each side. Adding a modification here, shifting forward into your plank as you continue to tap the toes down behind you. So finding that scissor kick as you reach forward into your plank. Good, pause and hold with your plank, one leg up, and then draw the knee up into the nose, toe into the knee, and then reach that right leg back up nice and high into your 3-legged downward dog. Excellent job. Walk the hands in to the feet, rolling up to a standing position, reach the arms up overhead, swan diving forward and walking our hands out to find our downward dog once again. Let's take that sequence with the left leg up, reaching the toes high up in the air, feeling that stretch, and then tapping the toes down and up. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Adding our modification this time around, shifting forward to plank as you tap your toes down to the floor. 3 and 2 and last one here. Good. Pausing in plank with the toes off the floor, drawing the knee up towards the nose and pausing here as you hollow out through the abs. Take your downward dog position, walk the hands in and roll up through the spine. Shifting the arms, reaching up overhead, swan diving forward to your forward fold. Grasp onto the ankles and take a good hamstring stretch here. Excellent work. Let's walk the hands out and find that downward dog position again. Reaching the right toes up into the air. We're going to reach forward and draw the knee up in towards the nose and then step through to find our high lunge position. Take the hands off the floor, clasp the fingers together, and reach the index finger up towards the ceiling as you start to straighten and bend the front knee. Working through our hamstrings here, drawing our belly button into our chest, straightening and bending, and straightening and bending. A lot of balance work involved here. Good. Hold your lunge and then release your hands back down to the floor. Stretch it out. Let's release the back knee down to the floor. We're going to open up into a kneeling side plank with our right leg reaching long. Right arm reaches up and over the head, and right leg starts to lift and tap in this kneeling side plank position, waking up our glute medius for 5 and 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Good. Holding that balancing side plank, reach back, find the back of the right foot as you pull back into that quad stretch. This is a tricky one to balance, so be patient with yourself. Arch the head back, draw the knees together, and place the hand on the hip. Some obliques here now, dropping the hips down an inch and up an inch. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Hold that side plank. Reach the right leg long and left leg long and make your way back to a center plank, sitting back to child's pose and taking your rest. Let's get ready to do the second side, rolling out the wrists before we do so. Good. Tuck the toes under, find your downward dog position, and reach that left leg high up into the air. Roll through the spine, draw the knee up and towards the nose, and then step that left leg through to find a high lunge position. Hands float off the floor, clasping together, index fingers reaching towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Sit a little lower into this lunge, and then stretch through that front leg. Stretching and bending in that lunge position. Take a few more reps here, straightening and bending, testing your balance. Try not to let yourself wobble. Hands float back down to the floor. The right knee tucks under and the left leg reaches long to find a kneeling side plank. Left leg lifts and lowers, up and down for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lift and float that leg up into the air. Holding here, reaching back, grabbing onto the front of the foot, taking that gorgeous hip, quad, and spine stretch here. Good. Reach back into your side plank position, gather the knees together, and place the hand on the hip. The hips lower down and up as we work through our obliques. 5 more repetitions here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Hold that side plank. Reach the left leg back out long and find your center plank position once again. Good. Bend the knees and step the feet a little closer to you, finding that bear crawl position once again. We're going to start to find some shoulder taps. Gently shifting the hips side to side, but minimizing that movement and trying to maintain core stability. Tapping each shoulder. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Good job. A few more repetitions here. Breathing through the work. Good. Send the hips high. Find that downward dog position. We're going to drop the elbows to the floor and find this dolphin version of downward dog. Heels reaching high, ankles squeezing together, building strength in our upper body with that pose. Reach the hands forward. Find a child's pose position with the hips lifted high to really open up through the chest and shoulders. Good. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, find your forward fold position, and we're going to send the feet nice and wide now in our forward fold. Turning our toes out, bending our knees and sitting our hips low. We're going to start to shift into our side lunge. Hands can be in front of the chest, or we can use the hands along the floor to help us balance. Working on our groin flexibility and strength here. Shifting over into your side lunge, and then shifting to the opposite side. Good work. Couple more shifts here. Try to maintain posture with the spine as you do this one. Good. Let's take the hands on the floor in front of us, to pivot the toes back forward and find that wide leg forward fold once again. Grasping onto the backs of the ankles, really pull the head through the legs to take a nice deep hamstring stretch. Clasp the hands together behind your back. Release the shoulders and reach the hands up over the head for a nice shoulder stretch. Good work. Let's find our hands back onto the floor and let's roll ourselves up to stand. We're going to shift our foot position to find that warrior position, leaning forward into our lunge, taking our forearm down onto our right knee as we reach our left arm up and over into a gorgeous side bend. Place the right hand on the floor, stretching both legs into a triangle stretch and reaching the left arm nice and high. Maybe to build on here, you find a bind by reaching your right arm underneath your right leg and clasping onto your left arm underneath. Going back through your triangle stretch once again, bending the knee, finding your lunge and coming back up into that warrior one position. Stretch the knee, turn the right toes forward and turn the left toes out, shifting into warrior one on your left side. Find your forearm onto your knee and reach that right arm up and over. Gorgeous long body stretch. Left hand comes down to the floor and we open up the chest into a triangle position. Maybe adding on from here, that binding position, reaching the left hand underneath the left leg and trying to find balance in this triangle bind. Great work. Reach back up into your warrior one position. Find a nice long line with the hands, stretching both knees and turning both toes forward once again. Hinging at the hips, finding a forward fold with the hands reaching out to the side, and then reach the hands to the back of the head. We're going to twist through the spine and lower our right elbow down to the floor. Twist through center and over to the other side, lowering the left elbow down towards the floor. Don't worry if you can't reach all the way. Just working on getting a deep rotation in the spine and then adding a forward fold as you go. Let's do a couple more repetitions on each side. Great job. Folding forward, release the weight into the hands and release the head once again. Finding a kneeling position here, and then finding a seated position, lying down onto our back with our hands behind our head for our final movement series here. We're going to do a finisher that's going to challenge your cardio a little bit. We're going to do 4 different exercises with 30 repetitions each, starting with just a simple crunch. Here we go. Up and down, up and down. Good work. 30 repetitions here. Working to keep the elbows nice and wide and the chin off the chest. If you're feeling strain in your neck, try to put more work into your belly. Good job. You're almost there. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to sit up and find a V-sit position with the ankles flexed, clasping the hands in front of us, rotating right and left. Right to left is 1 repetition. So here we go for another 30. Finding that rotation, finding that core work. Good job. Right and left, right and left. Really try to make sure that this rotation is coming from the base of the spine, not from the arms. Good work. Keep it going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. All right, lying on our back, we're going to do scissor kicks next. Right leg to left leg is 1 repetition, 30 repetitions here. This one's challenging, but you've got this. Breathe through. Grasping onto each leg as you kick the leg up towards your nose. Feel free to do this exercise with bent knees. That's it. Abs are starting to really burn. You've got this. You're almost done. Breathing as we go, trying to maintain a soft jaw. Great job. Keep working to straighten and lengthen the legs as you kick back and forth. This is a full body exercise. You're doing a great job. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job. All right, we're ready for our last exercise in this finisher series. We're going to do some tricep dips. So find that crab walk position, fingers pointing forward towards the heels, and start to bend through the elbows, getting into your tricep dip. 30 repetitions here, and then you're home free. Down and up, lengthening the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the belly button down to the spine. You got this. Breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Press the hips up high. Take a nice modified bridge position here, stretching out the shoulders, squeezing through the glutes. And then lowering the hips back down to the floor, finding a forward fold position to finish out this practice. Let the head hang down towards the knees. Let the spine reach long. Slow the breathing here. Awesome job. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're feeling relaxed and strong and lengthened. I'll see you in the next one.